If a screenwriter pitched this life story in Hollywood, executives would call it absurd. One man dominating global bodybuilding, redefining the action blockbuster, and then winning the governorship of California? It sounds engineered for myth, not reality. Yet, the life of Schwarzenegger defies conventional storytelling because it was powered by something deeper than ambition. It was fueled by survival. To millions, he is the embodiment of the American dream, the immigrant who conquered every arena he entered. But behind the iconic smile and catchphrases lived a man forged in hardship, sharpened by rejection, and haunted by private failures. His life is not just a saga of success. It is a study in obsession, reinvention, and consequence. To understand the legend, we must begin not in California's sunshine, but in the gray aftermath of a shattered Europe, where a boy first decided he would not accept the world as it was handed to him. Tuck-him Arnold. Alois. Schwarzenegger was born on July 30th, 1947 in Thal, a small village near Graz, Austria. The country was still reeling from World War II, infrastructure was broken, morale was shattered, and the national psyche carried the heavy silence of defeat. Arnold's childhood home had no indoor plumbing, limited heating, and a constant reminder that scarcity was normal. His father, Gustav Schwarzenegger, served as the local police chief and ruled the household with rigid discipline. A former member of the Nazi Party, Gustav embodied a generation scarred by war and pride. For young Arnold and his older brother Meinhard, childhood felt less like freedom and more like inspection. Expectations were constant. Warmth was rare. Praise was conditional. In this tight, austere environment, Arnold learned early that affection must be earned and that weakness invited criticism. The house was small, but the pressure inside it was enormous. The father, the rival, and the spark of defiance Gustav believed competition built character. So he pitted his sons against one another in sports, in academics. Meinhard, often favored, absorbed their father's approval. Arnold, frequently criticized, absorbed something else, defiance. When he lost, he was ignored. When he won, the praise felt temporary. Discipline sometimes crossed into physical punishment. But instead of breaking him, it hardened him. Arnold later described feeling detached from his environment, as though he were observing his life from outside it. He began to imagine a different future, one not confined to a small Austrian village. Where Meinhard struggled under pressure and later succumbed to personal demons, Arnold converted adversity into fuel. He decided he would become so extraordinary that no one could dismiss him again. That mindset, unyielding, almost ruthless, would define his life. The boy who felt alien in his own home began quietly preparing to become larger than any environment that tried to contain him. Discovery of America. The turning point arrived in a dark movie theater in Graz. On the screen were images of America, gleaming skyscrapers, confident men, abundance. It was the opposite of post-war Austria's gray restraint. America represented scale, ambition, and possibility. Soon after, Arnold discovered bodybuilding magazines featuring Reg Park, a British champion who won Mr. Universe and transitioned into films portraying Hercules. The formula clicked instantly. Build the body, win titles, move to America, become a movie star. It was no longer fantasy, it was a blueprint. Arnold trained obsessively, sometimes breaking into the gym when it was closed. While others saw vanity in bodybuilding, he saw escape. Muscles were not decoration, they were currency. Every repetition was a step toward departure. His parents worried, his father mocked him, but doubt only strengthened his resolve. The iron, became his ally. Through it, he wasn't just building strength, he was constructing a future far beyond Austria's borders. Obsession and the first taste of victory. At 18, during mandatory military service, Arnold's ambition overrode caution. He went absent without leave to compete in the Junior Mr. Europe contest in Stuttgart, and won. The punishment was a week in military jail. Yet instead of shame, he felt validation. Victory justified risk. That lesson stayed with him. Soon he moved to Munich to train more seriously, then set his sights on London and ultimately America. In 1968, at age 21, he arrived in the United States with limited but unlimited certainty. Joe Weider, the influential bodybuilding promoter, sponsored him, yet America proved harsher than expected. He lost early competitions, notably to the more defined Frank Zane. Arnold realized raw size was insufficient. Precision and aesthetics mattered. Rather than retreat, he analyzed weaknesses methodically. He relocated to Venice Beach, where Gold's Gym became both laboratory and temple. He wasn't chasing trophies anymore. He was. Engineering dominance. The psychology of a champion. Arnold's genius extended beyond muscle. He understood that competition was mental warfare. During the golden era of bodybuilding, he trained alongside Franco Columbu and other legends, cultivating camaraderie publicly, while Sabrine, Mawai, Yi Shiu Gu I, Gay Pui Chai, tentative edges privately. Before contests, he complimented rivals, while subtly highlighting their flaws. A casual remark, "You look smaller this year," could unravel confidence. This psychological strategy was immortalized in the documentary Pumping Iron, which transformed a niche sport into mainstream fascination. Audiences saw Arnold's charisma, confident, witty, unapologetically ambitious. By 1975, he had secured multiple Mr. Olympia titles, cementing himself as the sport's dominant figure. But he understood that physical peaks are temporary. Bodybuilding had been the vehicle, not the destination. Fame from the film introduced him to Hollywood. He saw clearly that the camera loved him, not despite his boldness, but because of it. The next conquest awaited under brighter lights. Hollywood's reluctant convert Hollywood initially rejected him. His accent was thick. His surname seemed unmarketable. His physique defied contemporary leading man standards. Early roles were awkward, including a heavily dubbed performance in Hercules in New York. Yet, Arnold approached acting as he had bodybuilding. Repetition, coaching, refinement. He studied diction, performance, and screen presence. The breakthrough came with Conan the Barbarian. Critics hesitated, but audiences responded to his primal city. The recurring Renault Archie. Then in 1984, destiny aligned with director James Cameron. Cast as the villain in The Terminator, Arnold transformed limitations into advantages. His robotic delivery and imposing stature were perfect for cultural shorthand. What Hollywood once mocked became brand identity. He wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of relentless force. The immigrant had redefined the action hero archetype for a generation. The Governator Experiment. In 2003, amid California's political turmoil and the recall of Governor Gray Davis, Arnold entered politics. Announcing his candidacy on television, he blended celebrity spectacle with populist messaging. Critics dismissed him as inexperienced. Voters saw boldness. Campaign rallies felt cinematic, infused with optimism and theatrical flair. Against expectations, he won decisively, becoming governor of California. The Governator label captured the novelty of an action star in public office. Unlike scripted battles, governance demanded compromise. He pursued environmental reforms and bipartisan initiatives, positioning himself as a pragmatic Republican in a polarized era. Yet Sacramento proved less malleable than a movie set. Budget crises, partisan resistance, and declining approval ratings tested his adaptability. The skills that conquered Jim C. Satin and film sets, confidence, dominance, charisma, did not always translate to legislative negotiation. Still, his tenure reflected earnest effort to transcend partisanship, even as political headwinds intensified around him. Scandal, mortality, and reflection. After leaving office in 2011, a personal revelation shattered his carefully curated image. It emerged that he had fathered a child with a longtime household employee, ending his marriage and tarnishing public perception. The disciplined architect of his destiny confronted vulnerability. Simultaneously, health challenges, including multiple heart surgeries, forced him to face physical fragility. For a man who built identity on strength, mortality was sobering, yet even scandal and illness did not end his story. He returned to acting, engaged in philanthropy, and spoke candidly about mistakes. The mythology cracked, revealing humanity beneath. Arnold's life became less about conquest and more about accountability and reinvention. The same resilience forged in Austria resurfaced, not to dominate, but to endure. Failure, once an enemy to be crushed, became a lesson to be acknowledged. The legend persisted, but now tempered by humility and reflection. The true cost of total ambition, Arnold Schwarzenegger's life reads like myth, because it was driven by uncompromising belief. He refused imposed limits, geographical, cultural, professional. From war-torn Austria to the pinnacle of American entertainment and politics, he engineered his ascent with discipline and audacity. Yet, his journey also exposes the cost of relentless ambition. Success can conceal wounds. Power can blur judgment. Reinvention can erase consequences. Still, what endures is not merely the trophies or titles, but the audacity of vision. Arnold's story reminds us that identity is constructed, sometimes painfully, through risk and resilience. He conquered arenas that seemed inaccessible, proving that determination can redraw boundaries. But he also learned that true strength is not domination. It is accountability.